there, and welcome to another Cathcart Creations video. My name is Jackie and I'm the artist behind Cathcart Creations. And I know I haven't posted anything in quite some time, but with the holidays and also with work, I've just been crazy busy and not really been able to do a whole lot of anything with Cathcart Creations over the past month and a half or so. But I am back and I will try to release a video at least once a month. Hopefully I can keep up that frequency. We'll see how everything plays out. But today I want to start with a little bit of news. I've started drafting and looking into doing a Redbubble account, and I still need to look into how that works with taxes and everything. I know, boring adult stuff, but it's something that needs to be dealt with. And hopefully, if this all works out, that means that you guys can get some of my art into wearable products or into posters, or you can get them as stickers. I don't know. I need to kind of play around with this idea a little bit, and I'll keep you guys posted as far as how everything is going. I do have social media links. If you guys aren't aware, those will be in the description below, and I'll probably be referring you to them at the end of the video. But today, since we are already past the point of me working on the landscape with this project, I just want to talk a little bit about what it is that we are drawing today. So, back in July of 2020, when I visited my parents in Vincennes, Indiana, small town Indiana, there's this Japanese restaurant there. The name escapes me at the moment, but they have this really wonderful mural-esque wallpaper all throughout their restaurant that I think I showed it a couple times here already, but there was this really pretty anime geisha girl kind of deal that I was really inspired to do. And then also along with that, on the app that I use for digital painting on my iPad, Medibang Paint, there was this overlay for a traditional Japanese pattern that I found out later was called, and forgive me for the pronunciation, I do not speak Japanese, Segaha scales. But I used that in the sky because I thought it just really gave a nice atmosphere and a little bit of a nice composition kind of deal. And you can imagine that they're really thin, fluffy clouds up in the higher atmosphere or whatnot. But those are the two things behind the behind the inspiration for this piece. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for spring. I know it's only January and we've only been through like a couple months of winter, but winter has never been one of my favorite, what is the word? One of my favorite seasons. There we go. And I don't know. I really want spring to come. So with that in mind, I went ahead and gave this painting and the coloration of the geisha girl and everything a very spring-like appearance. And I guess backtracking a little bit to the background, I have kind of been watching a little bit of Bob Ross, or artists working on Bob Ross landscapes or tutorials and stuff, and I decided, you know what, I am going to try and apply these to the landscapes that I do from here on out. I feel like I've definitely gotten better at organic landscapes. I guess the next thing for me to try and do is to work on architecture and buildings and stuff, which I have never been really great at. But art is a learning process, and I am just really in love with art and everything. But Side tangent. Anyways, I tried to make the background very Bob Ross inspired, trying to make it look like a Japanese mountain range with a sakura cherry blossom tree in the foreground. I think I got that communicated very well, but again, the mountain in the background is not Mount Fuji in Japan. It's kind of like my own place. Again, this is Japanese inspired. It's not an actual place in Japan. But the color scheme also, I wanted to go with a very soft spring look to go along with the saturated colors of the bushes in the background. There was this really nice orange color in the bushes in the background that I loved, and I found that while using the filter sliders to of changing the hue. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make that into the color of the geisha's dress. But I guess over the past month and a half that I've been not producing any materials on social media, I have been playing around with quite a number of techniques that I just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit. The pencils or the brushes that I use most frequently in this program are, eraser and pencil. You have to kind of use those, but I use pen and airbrush. I will use like the stipple brush for rock texture, and there's also the Sumi brush, I think. It adds like this really nice grain texture, so I use that for like the grain of wood, and it turns out really well. I sometimes use it for fur as well, but despite that, I used it for the wood grain of the sakura tree in the foreground here. I guess in general, as far as sketching goes, I oftentimes go about sketching and drawing things in general by finding shapes that I think, this captures the idea of what a flower looks like, or this captures the idea of what an umbrella looks like, or I guess you kind of get my point. But patterns and shapes and everything. Honestly, I am traditionally a painter, so going with shapes and things is a lot easier to do than to worry about the fine details of how, like, oh my gosh, I have to make sure that the fingers are absolutely perfect. But again, I do, as you saw earlier, use kind of a skeleton kind of shape, or like lines to shape out the fingers and such, and then I put shapes around that. But I guess that's, I don't know, it's pretty intuitive. But here in a little bit, when I start filling in the color of the geisha, and I think it's already been shown a little bit over the course of the video, I have finally learned how to use clipping masks, which are amazing because basically you fill in a base color layer with the color that you want to focus on. And then if you put a clipping mask over top of that layer, you're only going to be focusing on the one layer that you have for that specific color. So here I'm filling out the base layer for the hair, and later on you guys will see that I work on doing the various different colors, like the geisha's robes and the ribbons and the rope and the other accessories there with her and her umbrella. And each of these, with their base layers, and then also later with their clipping masks, they're going to be separated. So if I want to say use the flower stamp tool that I use for the pattern, I know, lazy, but artists sometimes have to do lazy things for art to come out right. Kind of stepping back in here, for making the shadows and everything, I typically use an airbrush, and for filling in colors, I use the pen brush because I mean it gives the flattest look, but the airbrush does give a little bit of a disbursement as far as where the color goes, and I really like how that makes soft shadows. Okay, so in here at the last little bit of this video, wanted to talk about this brush that I'm working right now. It is a flower pattern brush, and I thought it just made this robe look a little bit more like a traditional Japanese kimono, with the very soft, um, silk looking designs of the robe and also of the sash and the ribbon decorations and everything. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about also how much time this entire endeavor took me. So um, I didn't actually get to record how it was that I did the sky itself, but everything else took me roughly 9 hours to complete. And I am feeling the reason why this is titled a Japanese inspired masterpiece is because honestly, I feel like this is probably one of my best works that I've done yet thus far. And I am really proud of myself, and I hope that you guys can appreciate this art as much as I have. While we're here and I'm finishing up the details of this geisha girl, just wanted to talk a little bit about some things coming up in the future and everything, and also just wanted to thank you guys so much for following me in my art adventure. And I really appreciate the likes and support that I get from you guys over on my Facebook and on my Instagram. I am working with a artist friend who specializes more in web design than I do. I mean, I have a pretty strong base in art and kind of a little bit in graphic design, but for the most part, overall web design is something that I'm kind of unfamiliar with. But my wonderful friend Hannah, she is amazing, and she majored um, in computer science, and also did several art classes from what I know about her and everything. And she's been helping me make a new website and doing like all the links and stuff to hopefully my new Redbubble that I mentioned at the beginning of the video that hopefully will be coming out. I need to investigate that a little bit more, but I just want to thank you as we're coming to the end of the video for everything that you've done. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. I am a really small YouTuber at the moment, but I just do this for the fun of it for the most part. If you guys want to check out my Facebook page and the other links that I have in the description below, go ahead and check those out. And thank you guys so much for watching this video again. And remember, stay inspired and create, and have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.